Hey everybody! How you doing tonight? We're so excited to be back tonight. I'm Angie Hunt. We're in the LDRS Creative Studio and we are going to do some crafting tonight. I've been seeing everybody coming in. I love when you guys let us know where you're coming in from. I did see Patty Redmond here in Michigan, and looks like Shelly is also in Southeast Michigan. Diane is in Maryland. Oh, Jen Ray is here. Dana is here from Texas, Pearsall, Texas. Interesting. Oh, it looks like Will is here too. Hi, Will. Margie is here. Linnea, hey girl. Who else is in here? Susan and Regan, Cindy, Patty, Lynn, Teresa. So many people. Dieta is here. Christine. So many people. Hi, everybody. I love seeing all your names and where you're located. Oh, Christine is in New Jersey. Very cool. Very cool. Actually, not too far from us. I mean, we're in Michigan, so we're the same part of the country. Oh, and Dawn is here from Maine. Peggy is here from Pennsylvania. Oh my goodness, it's so, so cool. I'm sorry, I have an itch. I think there's something scratching me. Anyway, so cool to see everybody here tonight. I am super, super duper excited. We're going to be doing some stenciling tonight and having some fun. As you guys well know, I love working, I love mixing like the new collection with things that we already have in our collection. And I very much do not like when people say, oh, this is my old stuff or an old collection, because I don't think the stuff gets old. I think it's just stuff that we already have. And so I always look back and I go, what can I use and how can I mix it with what we have now? And because I just think that's fun. I don't like to just use something once or twice and be done with it. And I know that you guys don't enjoy that either. So I am going to be mixing our Potted Hibiscus, which is in our new spring collection, and I'm going to be mixing that with one of our previously released cover plate dies. So we're going to have some fun with those. Mr. Hunt is here with me in studio, so if you guys have, if you have any questions, Linnea's going to try and get those answered for you. If there's anything that you want to say to Alan, if you want to, talk to him about, he's looking at me. If you want to tell him to be super, super nice to me. No, I'm kidding. He actually was. Earlier today, out of nowhere, he dropped a packet of peanut M&Ms in front of me, which is my favorite candy.
That's all it takes.
So it was really, really sweet. Yes, that's all it takes. So that was actually really, really sweet. Yeah, there's nothing you could say to him to make him a better husband. He's actually pretty fantastic. So anyway, alrighty, but I'm sure you guys will have some words for me as soon as I start treating him poorly. Anyway, alrighty, or have I been doing that already? I don't know. Alright, we're going to get rolling, we're going to get rocking, we're going to get to camera 222, and we're going to get started. Maybe? There we go. Alright, let me get some glasses on so I can see what I am doing. All right, so this is my well-loved set. And let me come to camera 3, actually, so we can show them just how messy my stuff is. So this is the Potted Hibiscus. We have a 4x6 stamp set. It has this beautiful, beautiful potted hibiscus. You guys have heard me say already how much I love hibiscus, but I can't grow them. So this set is absolutely wonderful for me, because I can have potted hibiscus all year long. It's not going to die on me, and I can make them whatever color I want. And I love this set because it has so many different sentiments that actually work with the large word here that says happiness. Isn't that such a pretty little font? I think it's so cute. I love the swirly little kind of curly cues everywhere. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, true to form, on the back we show you what it looks like once it's colored up. And then we have the coordinating stencils. It's a 4-pack of stencils, and this does have the alignment guides on here that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you how to use those also. And we are going to have some fun with that. Alan, will you do me a favor? Yep. Will you get me, I don't think I have it here, will you get me a piece of Neenah Classic? It's in the one on the right. That's it right there. Perfect. I need that.
You lost your pointer.
Huh?
You lost your...
I did. Where is my pointer? Oh, I know where it is. It's in my drawer right here. Okay. So anyway, the stencils on the back, I want to show you this because all of our stencils are numbered. So we kind of have, you know, use stencil 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and then you're going to get this. And we also talked to you about what the alignment guides are and how to use those on here as well. So, so that is what we're using from the new spring collection. I am going to be using one of my go-to sets, which is the A2 diagonal stitched layered card toppers. I'm actually using the smallest one in the set here. We give you the sizes on the back. And then I'm using my Pretty Things cover plate die number 1. I think this one looks like a beautiful trellis, and so I'm going to be using this in the background because I love trellis. And this one is just like, I mean, we actually do have a trellis cover plate die, and it has some beautiful shape to it. But I really kind of wanted this one because it had the pretty little kind of curves in it, and I thought that this would be really feminine. So we're going to go with this one today. So we're going to switch back to camera 2, and I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of, this is Nina Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. That's what I'm going to be working on. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I'm just going to cut it in half at 5.5 and set this piece aside. Alrighty, so let me show you, actually, here's my little bag of tricks. I don't think I want to show you anything in here just yet. Let me see. Let me take a peek, because I can't remember what I got. Let's see. No, I'm going to leave that for now. We will open up my bag of tricks in just a little bit. So, all right, this is my messy towel.
I tried to find those at Williams-Sonoma yesterday.
They didn't have these at Williams-Sonoma.
Well, that's probably why I could find
No,
them.
this is an IKEA towel.
Oh, now you tell me.
I have a clean one over there.
Well, I was just thinking maybe
But
you should get
isn't that
some.
sweet? See, my guy went there to get me some more of these towels because everybody loves them so much, but he went to the wrong store. I use this one just to brush and clean off my my blending brushes. So I know it looks kind of nasty, but you know, hey, it's crafting, so you know, it's okay if things are a little dirty. So let me see. Now, I want to talk to you about this real quick because I know it's very typical, you know, to want to stamp the image first and then stencil over it. But when you're working with inks, whether it's hybrid ink or a dye ink or a pigment, whatever it is, okay, distress inks, whatever it is, if you stamp in that ink, and then you take another color of the same ink and you go to color blend, they're going to react and you're going to end up like if I had stamped this in black, let's say, and then I go to blend over it with the green, it's going to smear the black. And that's going to happen with just about any of your inks. Now I could stamp it and then emboss it, but I didn't want to do that. I thought, you know what, I didn't want it embossed. I don't know why, I just didn't. So I thought, because of our alignment guides and everything, I am going to stencil first and then I'm going to stamp over it. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me show you the colors of inks that I've got here that I have chosen to work with. Let's see. So for my pinks, for those of you that want to write this down, for my pinks for the flowers, I'm starting with Fandango. And let me come into camera 3.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Fandango, and then I'm going to shadow with Boysenberry Blast. This is one of my favorite color combinations. It is gorgeous, so pretty. For the dirt, I'm going to use Coffee Bean, and then for the leaves, I'm going to start with Key Lime Pie. Then I'm going to go to Olive Branch. And then for the pot that it's in, I'm going to start with Marina Madness. And then I'm going to go ahead with Bally Blue. Okay? I'll go over those colors again, but just in case you guys wanted to see them. And we're always going to start with light and then, you know, start with your light colors and then go to your dark colors. So I've got 4 blending brushes ready to go. Let me lay my blending brushes over here where they go with each one of the colors, and that way it keeps them out of my way and I don't grab the wrong one. So let me get these open and we're going to get started. Oop. Oops, I didn't mean to pull that out. Wow, you guys are busy today. I just saw a message come up. We use Restream for our streaming service, and it says, congratulations, you've received 100 messages today from Restream Chat. You guys are chatty today. That's awesome. Okay, so let me look through these. I want to show you how this works. All right, let me put this behind it so you can see it. Now, see in the bottom corner, see that one? It's etched in there. If you want to go over that with some ink or something to make that show up more, you can. But the number is etched. This first die number 1, is just going to have the image cut out. It's not going to have any of those alignment etchings on there. All right. When I go to number 2, you're going to see that I have a 2 down here in the corner now, right? See the 2? And then when I catch this in the light, see the etching? See that etching up there? So you can see where the stencil is cut through, and then you just see that thin line. That etching will actually line up with this shape of the stencil, number 1. And you're going to see that same etching on stencil 2, stencil 3, and stencil 4. Because of that etching, I can start to stencil anywhere on the page I want, and I'm going to be able to line up perfectly with those etchings. I can start stenciling. I don't have to stamp first. I can just go ahead and stencil, and I will, no matter where I am on my page, if I'm using a big scrapbook page or whatever, I can use those etchings to line up with the very first stencil that I do. So that's why those are so important. That's why we kind of innovated that idea, because it's really cool and it makes it really, really easy for you. Let me make sure I have my stencil. I had my stencil backwards. I thought I did. So here's my 1. You can always tell if your stencil is going in the right direction if you can read the number or letter. Sometimes they're alphas instead of numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. I am going to be blending on my Neenah Classic Crest Solar Wet cardstock. I don't normally blend on this just because the inks don't blend quite as well. If I'm doing a big blended background, I will use my Strathmore. But I'm just doing small areas, and I wanted to make sure that this white matched the rest of the white paper that I'm using for the rest of the card. So that's why I'm doing it on here. So I'm going to go ahead and just start this. I am going to tape this down. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me to make sure that it doesn't slide all over the place. Now I'm going to have an extra little piece here. If you look at this stencil, let me show you the back of it here. If you look at this stencil, you're going to see that we have, the flower. You're going to see that we have the leaves and the flowers up there. We have the stem. We have a little bit of dirt right there. That's what that brown is, and then the pot. So when I look at the stencil, and we even give you kind of color coding here, so you can see where we have the red on the back there, that's flower. That little bit of brown is the dirt. So just to make sure that I don't get, this is where the dirt is, just make sure I don't get any pink in there, I'm going to cover that up with my little piece of tape. And in case you're wondering, the tape that I'm using is the mint tape from scrapbook.com. We don't sell it, but it is my favorite, my go-to tape right now. So I'm going to get started with Fandango. And got my pink brush. And so here's what I do. Let me show you what I'm doing. So I get the ink on here. I'm going to go off just a little bit. I could do it on the paper, but I want to save that paper. And then, oh my goodness, my son just came up next to me and startled me. And what?
Disrupt. I just want to say hi.
Hi.
Or at least look in here and see what you're doing.
Okay. All right, so now I'm just making some circles, and I'm going very gently because I don't want this pink to be super, super bright. I'm going to reverse my circles just so that I get, different little edges in there. I like to blend in a couple of different directions so that everything comes out really smooth. So that is all we need to do for that pink. I'm going to clean my brush off and put the lid on Fandango, and then we're going to set that one aside. I don't need it anymore. All done. All right, now here's my little moist towelette. I'm going to go ahead and just clean off that stencil a tiny little bit there. And then I'm going to move my tape. Pick up that tape, and now I'm going to cover that pink. I'm going to change brushes. I'm going to get brown, and so now I have coffee bean. And I'm just going to put a little bit of brown in the center here. Brush off a tiny little bit because I don't want it to be too overpowering. And just lightly get that in there. All right. Clean off my brush. I just make little circles on that towel to clean off my brush. Now I'm done with coffee bean. I can set that aside. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to set my tape aside. Love this tape. I've told you time and time again, I reuse my tape. So I'm literally just setting my tape aside here. I am going to go ahead and wipe the excess off of my stencil. You can clean your stencil with your, with your stamp cleaner if you want. That's totally up to you. So I'm just going to set that aside now, and I'm going to move on to stencil number 2. So here we have number 2. Let me see if I can get that in the, there it is. There's number 2. So I make sure that I have the stencil facing in the right direction. Can you see the alignment guides on there? I don't know if you're going to be able to I can't catch them necessarily in the light. See the alignment guides? I'm going to line that up with the top of what I've already stenciled. And I actually have it right here on, let's see if I can catch it in the light again. I have it right there on that dirt as well, so it goes on everything that I just stenciled. So it's hard for you guys to see it. It's very easy for me to see it. Let me just move this around while I line everything up. Oh my goodness, I think it just started raining. That looks really good right there, up a tiny bit. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and get this all taped down again. It is pouring all of a sudden. All right, so now what I have next are leaves. And I always start, I start with your lighter color. So we're starting with the light green. I chose key lime pie. I always like to clean my brush off just in case there's anything left on there. Get my key lime pie, brush a tiny bit off on my towel, and then just go very gently over here. Get the stem. Now if you want to do the stem a darker color, you can do that. You can do this however you like. There we go, just little circles. Just make sure it's filled in. There we go. Very simple. Clean off my brush. And now we're done with key lime pie. And I'm going to set that one aside. Remove my tape. And I am going to give this a little bit of a wipe. I just put it on my towel like this and I just wipe it off. Just to get that, whatever is loose on there that hasn't dried yet. Like I said, if you want to use your stamp cleaner to get any more excess off of there, you can. All right, so here, this is what we have now. So now we're going to move to stencil number, where's that 3? There we go, got it in the light. You can see those alignment guides on there, see? So we're going to line those up once again. There we go. Tiny bit over, looks good. And I'm going to tape it down just to make sure everything stays. All right, now here I'm going to get a larger piece of tape. I want to block off this blue down here, not blue, but what I'm going to do in blue, which is the pot. And I'm going to have this darker pink right here, which is going to be Boysenberry Blast. Okay, so now I'm going to do the darker parts, or the shadows of the flower. Okay, so since they're shadows, that's why we're using a darker color. So get my ink, just brush off a tiny little bit. Now when I do this, I'm coming in and I'm doing this very gently. I can always add more color, but it's hard to, well, you can't remove color, right? So I don't want to go in with too much really fast. I would rather build up the color and layer it a little bit. I also like to have like varying degrees of the color so that it's not like, you know, just all solid, the darkest I can get it. I think it's prettier that way. Wow, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is absolutely a downpour outside. Alrighty, there we go. I think that looks
I
good.
can just hear your stomach growling.
You don't hear my stomach growling.
No, Jesus. He's
Like,
pretty good.
my stomach's not growling. Something I would know. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. Before I remove this tape, I am going to clean off some of this pink here just a little bit. Just to get that excess off of there before I move this tape. Oops, I see a little bit here. I don't want to blend pink into my blue. That's why I'm doing that now. Now I'm going to lay this up here and cover up there so I don't get any of that pink into the blue or the blue into the pink. So I'm going to start with my lightest blue, which is Marina Madness. Oh, Margie says she hears the rain. It is, it's a downpour all of a sudden, man. It came out of nowhere. All right, so this is Marina Madness. Let me brush a little bit off there. And I'm going to come in really gently. Just make some light circles all around. There we go. Nice pretty soft blue to this pot. There we go. Brush off the excess. And that is it for Marina Madness. It's very, very soft. I didn't put a lot of color. I just wanted it nice and light. All right. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the excess from my stencil. Just gently. You want to go gently with your stencils because, you know, we're cutting stencils more and more intricately. And like things like this that aren't attached to anything, you don't want to bend those up. So you want to be gentle with your stencils these days. All right, so this one is stencil number 4. Where is it? There we go, there's number 4. Get this one lined up. You can see my register, my, where is it?
Etching.
Yeah, the etching on there, thank you. Okay. So let's get this one lined up now. There we go, that looks good. All right, oops, this one here. I'm going to start with this pot down here. Cover up anything I don't want to get color on. So now I'm going to go to Bally Blue. That's my darker blue. Same brush. Get some of that off of there. I always brush off just a little bit because I don't want to have that. It's like if you don't brush off a tiny bit, you always get like a really dark, dark spot, and I don't like that. So just giving it a tiny little bit of a brush off before you take the color to the paper, I think you get a smoother look to the ink. Going a little bit darker with this one. Make sure it's all blended nice and evenly. It looks really pretty. Brush out that excess. And then we're done. I am going to come in here and wipe up my stencil a bit, just so I don't grab any of that loose stuff, like I mentioned before, into the pink. I'm going to go here, pull this up, or actually into the green. And I'm going to put this piece of tape down here. So now we have the last color, which is the darker green. And for that, we're using Olive Branch. Okay, same green brush. Get my color, go off a little bit on the towel. And now we're going to come in here with those beautiful green shadows. Again, I'm not pressing really hard. I would rather make more circles and do this gently to make sure that I get even coverage and to get the color that I want, rather than pressing really, really hard and getting too much color or something. There we go. I think that looks good. Brush off the excess. And I think we're going to be good. So now for the big reveal. Now we're gonna call it done on the tape. I've used it for all 4 stencils. And look at, look how pretty! Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's just lovely. So I'm just wiping up my stencil right now. Get the excess off of there. Move my towel out of the way. And I am going to put my stencils away. Isn't that just beautiful? I love the details on this. Now, if you want to leave it just like this, you can use only your stencils. You do not have to stamp. I am going to show you the difference, though. Remember when I said I'm going to open up that little bag of tricks? I'm going to show you the difference, because I have one here. Where is it that I did earlier? Here it is when you color it up and then you stamp it. Isn't that pretty? You get so much more detail. This one, though, oh my goodness. It is such a difference when you look at the two. I almost don't even know which one I want to use. But I do love seeing all of the centers of, of everything here. I think it's just so, so, so pretty. So basically, here's what we do. Yeah, Sue says, love both of these. I love them both too. Oh, somebody's saying, I wonder what it would look like if you used gray instead of black. That's actually, I'm not sure it would show up as well, but you know what, why don't we try it? Alan, do you want to give me the alloy over there?
Okay.
Nope, to your right.
Well, alloy's pretty light.
I can stamp it a couple of times and it'll get darker, so let's try it with alloy and we'll see which one we like better.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's...
Okay, so we're going to try alloy. All right. Look how pretty. Oh, I love it. All right, so let me get my, what?
Well, you can always go to black if you...
Yeah, I can always go to black if it doesn't come out dark enough.
If you don't move the stamp.
So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this. Actually, yeah, I'm going to trim it right now. And you put this in here, line up the stamp. Actually, I'm going to trim some off that bottom there a bit, because I want to make sure that I have enough space to put just a little bit off the bottom. I want to be able to put my little magnet on there, and I didn't have enough space on this one, so there we go. Okay, so I'm going to get this lined up. I do find that, once I stamp it and I get some black ink on there, I do find that it is actually easier to line up over my image if I do that first. But this does take a moment, and I have done this poorly before, trying to line it up. And you know, to be honest with you, it doesn't really bother me if it's slightly off. So I've got that lined up. All right. Now we're going to see, I think I cleaned that. I think I cleaned it with my stamp cleaner. We're going to see. So we're going to get this inked up with alloy. And see how we do. Ooh, I'm off a bit. Ooh. I am off ever so slightly. Well, I actually don't, and it doesn't really show up as well, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it very dark in there.
Is that black? Or
What?
that's the alloy?
Yeah, that's the alloy. I'm going to move this over just the tiniest little bit because I don't think I have it lined up very well. I am going to go to, I think our gray, at least, I think the alloy is too light. So I'm going to go to our Raven. And see how we do. There, it's lined up better too. I just moved it over ever so slightly. Push a little bit in the middle there. Make sure I'm getting the pressure. There we go. There we go. So pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, so where is my stamp cleaner? See, extreme clean. Good stuff. There we go. And then you want to give it a good wipe, and it's not gonna make your stamp totally, you know, clear, but it's gonna get all that excess. See all that excess it gets off of there? That's what you don't want on there, because if you go to stamp it, you don't want to pick up whatever residue is left there. So you want all the loose stuff. All right. So that is done. Okay, so next up, I'm not going to do the die cutting. I'm just going to show you what I did, because you've seen me die cut before. So I went ahead and I went to my A2 diagonal stitched layered card toppers, and I chose the smallest of the three. And when I line this up over, you can see it covers some of the leaves a bit. But when you look at it after it's been cut, look how perfectly, yes, the leaves go into the little diagonal stitching there, but I don't mind that. I think it's framed really, really pretty. I think it came out really nice. So I'm really happy with it. So this is all I did. I just lined it up here, tape it, run it through your machine, and this is what you're going to get. So we're going to move on to this one, just because I want to make sure we get through everything. Okay, so some of the work is done. Okay, I'm going to move this aside, and we're going to go over this one here. So this Pretty Things cover plate die, love this. This is an A2 cover plate die. That means it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches tall. And it cuts that entire frame around, so it's going to cover your entire A2 card front. So that being said, here I have an A2 card front. It is a top fold or tent fold. So basically I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and I cut it lengthwise all the way down at 4 1/4, and then I scored it at 5 1/2. And that's what gives me this tent fold. Let me score this again now. Excuse me. So then I took my, excuse me, my Pretty Things Cover Plate Die 1. Now we have Cover Plate Die 1, Die 2, and Die 3. They look like this. So this is Die 1, Die 2, and Die 3. All three of these can be used individually. They can also be used in any combination, mix or match. So we show you what they look like on the back here, for example, if you layer them up, you know, in this particular configuration. So one of them has little flowers on it. They're just really, really pretty. No matter how you layer them up, you're always going to see bits and pieces of all three of them, no matter what combination you do. But depending on how you layer them and the colors that you choose, certain, you know, bits and pieces will be more prominent than others. So they're really, really beautiful, creates a lot of depth, absolutely stunning and gorgeous. But they can also be used on their own. Oh, and again, you can just layer 2 of them if you want, any 2 or the 3 in any combination. So I wanted to work with just this one, and so here's what I did. It's one of my favorite things to do now. You guys are seeing me do this a lot. I actually cut it twice, and I'm just going to layer these 2 up. I want to show you the difference here. If I put this one down here on the top of my card base, you can see it. It looks really pretty. I have some dimension there. But if I layer both of these up together, it makes it thicker. And then when I lay that on there, the dimension is just that much more. It's more prominent, more pronounced. So that's what I'm going to do. This is one of my favorite things to do these days. I love layering my cover plates up. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of adhesive on here. This is our craft glue. It goes on white, but it does dry clear. Goes a long way as well. In all this time, I literally have 2 bottles here. That's all I've been using in all of this time. Because it just, you don't have to use a lot. And it dries pretty quickly. I do have some, you know, working time here. But it will dry pretty quickly for me. There we go. And make sure you put this on in the right direction. There is a right way, you know, because, I mean, just in terms of the pattern, you don't want to put it upside down. There isn't necessarily a top and a bottom, but when you're putting 2 of them together, you want to make sure they're facing the same direction. That's basically what I was trying to say. So now we have a little more weight there. If you want to go up, you know, 2 of these or 3 of these, you know, the more you actually layer, the more depth you're going to get on your card front. All right, so this is what we're going to look like here. So pretty. So I'm going to go ahead now and start adhering this now. There we go. So same process, just a little bit of glue. I do prefer to use liquid glue for this. If you wanted to cut this and back it with a double-sided adhesive tape, you could do that. I prefer using a liquid glue just because it gives me a little more time for positioning it, sliding it into place so that I have it just where I want it before it dries. There we go. We're just going to hold that down for a moment. Actually going to go ahead and place that on top of there. Okay, and then we've got to stamp a sentiment. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do for a sentiment? How about, you know, I wanted to do a sentiment on the inside. So let's take a look at these sentiments. I think I'm going to need my larger, I should have done the sentiment before I put it all together, but that's okay. I always forget it, right? So what do we have here? We've got happiness, and this one says, wishing you all the happiness. You bring me so much happiness. Happiness is in the little things. I found my happiness. Happiness is when the heart smiles, and then sending love and happiness. I'm going to do happiness is in the little things, I think. I'm going to put it on the inside of my card. That's what I'm going to do. I should have done this already. Uh-oh, Sketty-o. Let's see if I'm going to be able to do this. I do think I need a bigger... I may be in trouble. Let's see. Hum, 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 ho, hum. I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this because I don't have a larger...
And it's too thick on the edge.
You know what I have,
What do you have?
Alan?
Yes?
Go over there to my craft area over there. See if I have my Tim Holtz stamping platform over there. It's a little more of a gray square one. Look in there. Move things around, honey, right where you are.
I think it's in here.
Is it? Yep, give me that one.
Okay. Oh,
Let's see. All right, this was my Tim Holtz one. Ha ha ha. Let's go to camera 2. This allows me, my Tim Holtz, this has an open side. So that allows me to go like that. And then that goes out there.
oh.
Isn't that just cool? I need to have this go in the other direction though.
Is it hitting you?
This has to go like this.
Oh, is that how it's hitting?
Yeah, because you want the clear. Let's see if I can gather that up. We'll see if it works. So we're going to do happiness is in the little things. I think somebody actually suggested that one. I saw somebody said happiness is in the little things. Oh, it was Reagan said happiness is in the little things. So we're going to try that. We're going to put happiness up here. We put 2 of these down here. Happiness. Let's see if it'll gather that up. And it is. Ta-da! I want my Raven ink. All right. Oh, I forgot to, it's the first time I'm stamping this and I forgot to wipe off the, I didn't even ink it up all the way. I forgot to brush off the, to condition it. But we'll see how we do. I might have to stamp it a second time. Maybe a little bit. One more. Looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. Happiness. Clean that up. There we go. Get all that excess off of there. And then I want is in the little things. So we're going to grab that one. And for this one, I'm only going to have a sentiment on the inside. Try not to get my head in there. Let's see if I can do this. Make sure I got that the right way. Happiness. I hope that's straight. I can't get my head right over the top of it. Ah. Okay. Let me brush this off. Is in the little things. Gorgeous. Oh, that's perfect. Looks beautiful. Beautiful. Happiness is in the little things. Isn't that the truth? It really is. For the last couple of weeks, every time I would go outside, we have a lilac tree out there. When it's in full bloom, it just fills the air, and it is my favorite floral scent. I absolutely love lilacs. And so there you go. Happiness is in the little things. When you walk out the door and the air is filled with the smell of a blooming lilac tree. Nothing better. Oh, IBL is saying, well, is asking, is there going to be a Friday Frenzy tomorrow? Yes. Yes, there will. There will be a Friday Frenzy tomorrow. We're not necessarily going to have them every single week. We're going to have them when we have, something special to do with them. We actually, our son's graduation from high school was last weekend. So sometimes we can do them and sometimes we can't, but we will definitely have one tomorrow, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Somebody's asking, what is Friday Frenzy? Friday Frenzy is where we will offer a special on something. It could be a collection of items, could be a single item. It could be, it varies. It could be a special discount. It could end up being like a special free something that you get with a certain purchase or something like that. And it will run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, or just on Friday. You have to wait till the announcement comes out. The way you get the announcement is if you sign up for our newsletter. You want to be in the know. To do that, you want to go to our homepage on our website at LDRScreative.com. You should get a little pop-up to sign up. If you don't, then go all the way down to the bottom of the homepage and you want to type in your email there. We will send out the email on the Friday morning of the Friday Frenzy. And it'll give you the details on what it is. Let's see if this is dry. I think it is. Well, you know what? Just in case it's not, I'm going to leave it open, just like this. So we're done stamping. There we go. Sometimes it's easier to stamp them separately because of the extra photopolymer that's surrounding the sentiment. You can get them closer together by stamping them separately. That is, who's saying, oh, it looks like Linnea may have answered that. And yes, that is true. I also find that just because of the way stamps are made, because the polymer is basically poured, I like to stamp individual sentiments just by themselves, just to make sure that that it's just easier to get an even pressure across an entire stamp when it's all one rather than multiple. I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but just in case you have any kind of deviation in the depth of one stamp versus another, I think it's better to do them separately. There is always a tolerance, level when it comes to, the depth of a photopolymer stamp when they're making it. So, Ellen, do you want to come into camera 3? I'm going to go ahead with my foam now. So this is, in case anybody wants to know, this is my Scotch foam, and we don't have any of this in the store anymore. We ran out, but this is what I like to use. It's got maybe about a 1/16 of an inch of thickness, and I love this. This is my favorite foam. For as long as they make this, this is the only foam that I will be using. As long as I can get my hot little hands on it, this is what I will use. I like that it's not a very deep or thick foam, and it's thin enough so that if I want to layer it up and make it thicker, or have critters or characters on my card with different depths of it, if I've just layered it or put it on there, one layer or multiple layers for extra varying dimension, I can do that without creating too much bulk because it's not really, really thick to begin with. So watch, look how stunning that is. Isn't that, just by itself, that background is really, really pretty. Isn't that it's just lovely. You can see the depth of that because I layered 2 of them up. Isn't that pretty? Now watch, and some people are going to kind of go, oh, you're covering that up. Well, I got to cover it up. I mean, how else am I going to get the flower on there, right? But I love that this is all framed in a beautiful double stitch with that little double corner. And I cut it with the smallest die in that set so that you can see some of that beautiful frame. Now I'm just hesitating here to make sure I've got it straight and even all around. There we go. And now you can see that beautiful trellis look around the sides of it. Isn't that just so pretty? So, so pretty. Actually, I think I have it a little bit low. Did I press it down too hard? Nope, I can get it back. I can lift it back up, so that's good. I think I have it a little bit too low, so I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to look up in the camera this time and make sure I have it right. I'm very, very weird about making sure things are centered. It will drive me absolutely bonkers if it's not. or like now if it's not straight. So this is why I have to put my head over the top of it. Let me see. There we go. Okay. That's so pretty. Sometimes you don't want to have a sentiment on the front. I could put a sentiment right across that if I wanted to, but it would really just kind of cover up some of the beauty of that hibiscus. And now when I open it up, it says happiness is in the little things. Plenty of room for you to write a sentiment in there. It's so, so pretty. I am going to go ahead. Let's see if I can do this without ruining it. Eek gads. I got my LDRS creative out. Boy, I hope this is straight, Alan. Wouldn't that be terrible if it's no longer straight?
I don't know.
Actually,
You could test it.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to test it. Let's put it on here and test it. Ooh. All right.
Is it straight?
Almost. We'll see. If it's not, then it won't be, right? Actually, that's not straight at all. Maybe it's me. It's the way I'm holding it. Let's try that one. Actually, I think it is straight. I think I didn't have it straight because I can't get my head over the top. Have I complained enough about not being able to get my head over the top of the camera yet? There we go.
All right.
All right. You know you're getting annoying when you're annoying yourself. Okay, look how pretty. Yes. What a cute card. I really, really like it. I'm going to give this one more little score across the top there. Just because I've been flipping it around. There we go. Well, it's on glass, so it's opening, but isn't that so pretty? I likey. Hey, Mikey. All right. Oh, I've created a mess. Honey, I created a mess.
Okay.
All right. You want to come back to, wait, hold on. There you go.
Are
Okay.
you fluffed?
I just had to make sure everything's good. All right. So here is my card. I feel so corny when I'm doing that. But I hope you like the card. I think it is so, so pretty. I love it. Yay. I really do. I love that trellis look that we have behind that. It's just really pretty, and it's white on white, which I absolutely love. So, hope you guys like it. Alrighty, it is time for, what's it time for? Is it time for a giveaway?
Oh my goodness.
I think we're actually going to give away a set of the hibiscus stamp and stencil today. How's that sound?
Sounds interesting.
So, there you go. So you can see what the card looks like. There you go. I need a name.
You need a name?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of name do you need?
I need a winner's name. Give me a name, honey.
Well, I'm giving you a second here. Everything's like flying through the air. How about Anna Lavera?
Anna Lavera. Anna Lavera, you're the winner. You have won the Potted Hibiscus stamps and the stencils. Yay! Anna, congratulations. I need you, please, to send your name and your complete mailing address to customer service at LDRScreative.com. We will get your prize out to you tomorrow morning. I think it will go out. And hopefully it'll get to you quickly. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And again, congratulations. Yay! You're going to be able to make your very own hibiscus cards. Awesome. All right, everybody. That is it for us tonight. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. That's going to be over at LDRScreative.com, bottom of the home page. You want to get it'll say be in the know or something like that. You want to sign up for that. It's the only way you're going to be notified of what the Friday Frenzy is when we do them, as well as being notified on things like being here tonight and other announcements that we make and other specials that we put out. So it's a really, really good way to be in the know for what's going on here at LDRS Creative. That is it for tonight. We will be back next week. I have no idea what I'm going to work with, what we're going to play with. I'm sure I'll decide that on Wednesday when Linnea is going, Angie, what are you working with? I'll figure it out then. So anyway, wishing you all a fantastic evening, a wonderful weekend. I hope it is a nice, sunny, and warm and fun weekend for you guys. We will see you again right here, same place, same time next week, 7 p.m. on Thursday. Bye for now.